If it is something big happening in the world, well, you can't jump on a magic carpet and fly there and hug everybody and tell everybody it's going to be all right. You can use prayer. Prayer is so effective. But prayer from the highest within you. Unconditional prayer. Not praying they must be well, but praying may God's will be done in their life. Yes, you are part of the world, but what you can do has to come from that higher place within you. For caring people, it's a natural reflex to get down and get your hands in the mud and to be solving people's problems. But when it's done from the inner voice, when that is your guide, then whatever you do will have the greatest impact. So you can still be of greater service when what you take out into the world is the light of your peace and your confidence. If somebody comes to you as troubled, you don't have to go down into their pit to solve the problem, but stay in your light and raise them up out of their pit. That is compassion. Understand the difference between compassion and empathy. Empathy takes you down into the pit, then there's two in the pit, with no way out. Being compassion, and a way is found to rise up, is the difference, dear ones, between loving wisely and loving too well. And you can reflect upon what that means for you, but to love too well is to act from your emotions, from your old programs, from what has meant service to you up to this moment. Loving wisely sometimes means even having to say no. It's having the wisdom to see, well, I can't do anything for this person at the moment, just as the Master Jesus didn't always heal everybody who came to him, because he would see, oh, you're not ready yet. You're not ready to allow that transformation. You're not ready to be healed. That wasn't a lack of love or compassion. That was loving wisely. So loving wisely may be to say to somebody who comes to you, I hear you, I see you, I'm present with you. But trust and faith that what now troubles you will have a solution. If it is something big happening in the world, well, you can't jump on a magic carpet and fly there and hug everybody and tell everybody it's going to be all right. You can use prayer. Prayer is so effective. But prayer from the highest within you. Unconditional prayer. Not praying they must be well, but praying may God's will be done in their life. Not everybody is going to respond. What maybe people are going through in situations of great crisis is their gift to awaken to their faith. Do they become a victim, or do they say, okay, there's a message here? There's always that choice. And some people will be a victim, and you cannot take somebody who's a victim away from being a victim because they're so strongly identified with being a victim. It may be individually, it may be collectively. Many troubles continue in the world because of a collective identification with a role as a victim or a perpetrator or a dominator. You can't do anything there. Do as much as you can in your own world and the contacts you make personally with people. And for the rest, trust there's always a greater power than you working where it is needed. And remember that love brings to the surface anything unlike itself. So when you may hear of some terrible event happening, you say, thank God, love is working there. Love is bringing to the surface the possibility for growth and awareness and healing. Love is bringing to the surface buried pain, bringing people out of their collective lockdown or their personal lockdown, because everybody must be free. God wants all to be free. And everything is with compassion. Just as you have heard me say, let everything in your life be seen to be a grace, so grace is operating in their lives, maybe not in the way that you think it should work, but it is, if they have the choice to see it that way. It's a choice. And if they don't make the choice that time, they'll have another opportunity. This is part of the generosity of God. There's never an end to the gifts that come for people to recognize that what is happening in the world and their lives is always a grace. There's no impatience in the world of spirit. There's no, oh, they're so slow. We don't see it like that. We just see, let's bring more love. Let's bring more love. Let's bring more love. Like the waves of the ocean crashing on the shore, it's more love, until slowly that which needs to be eroded will be eroded by the waves of love. The fear will be eroded, the resistances will be eroded. Only love can do it. And you can do it through the beauty of your heart and your presence and your comforting words and your ability to see the perfection in people. Not to take too personally what happens at the personality level, but just to hold up the mirror for truth for them. But if you're in pure peace, dear one, you're serving everyone. But in that peace, the reason for peace is to hear your inner voice. And if you're true to that, you can't ever be selfish. And that peace is something that goes with you everywhere. You could be standing in a queue at the supermarket checkout, feeling your peace. And somebody in front of you is feeling sad or unhappy or fearful, and they leave feeling happy. They don't know it's because you've been standing behind them. Presence does that. But you don't have to know about it. That's the point also of the effect of presence. People may say to you, I feel so good when I'm with you. You think, me? What? I was in such a bad mood that day. How could I possibly make you feel better? But your presence was doing it independently of how you were feeling as a human being. You cannot save the world, dear one, on your own. You are benefiting now through your modern communication systems to be aware of everything that is happening in the world. Light a candle for them. Come together with friends who like spirit and pray for them. Hold the vision. Be reminding yourself of the truth that love is there operating always. Love brings to the surface. How can there be the transformation unless something happens to awaken people that they are open to receive love? If something happens in your city, for example, or even in your country, some kind of catastrophe, of course, immediately your emergency services are there, your ambulances, your police, your firemen and whatever. But you know, our emergency services are much quicker. We are there even before it happens because we know it's going to happen. And so when you hear of something taking place, a tragedy as you call it, think, oh, wonderful. Weibel's there with his ambulance. My guide is there with the fire engine. All the healers from spirit are there. Because we don't have time, we know it's as it happens. And instantly, help is there. So those who, shall we say, may suffer in a terrible accident or an explosion, they're instantly in the presence of healing guides and angels. We are taking care of them. Our emergency services are on call 24/7. If you could see the activity, the spiritual activity around an event, a big event, a small event, a car crash, We are there. We are there. Don't forget, it's not you, my dear friends in human form, who are there to do the work. We are there as well. What you can't do, we do. And when humanity evolves to the point where you can do it, well then we will still be there, cooperating even more closely. At the end of the day, what matters to you only must be that you're true to the highest within yourself, whatever that is. If that means you want to be out there caring, that's fine. Be true to yourself. I'm not telling you to change the way that you are, because I know that all are growing, all are evolving. I don't want you to feel a conscience, I'm not doing anything because the Bible says I don't need to. No. You have to be true to yourself in the moment. And allow yourself, I hope, eventually to experience that your inner voice, the spirit within you, will guide you always in right action according to divine law. Not just according to your own compassionate nature. They may work together at some point. But in any given moment, you only have to be true to yourself. Not even an old spook like me. If that's what gives you peace of mind, if that's what allows you to sleep well at night, do that. And allow there to be change and surprises in your attitude if that's what happens. That's the old pattern. That's a survival mechanism. I must be seen to be doing something. Yeah. But you know, dear one, some of you heard me say this before, if you were to view your beautiful planet from space at night, you would see the bright lights showing where all the most people are living. But the brightest lights that we see are in the emptiest parts of the planets, where yogis are living in their caves, in total solitude, in prayer, in meditation and practice. These are the brightest lights on the planet. Mm-hmm. If you are living like that, if we were able to scan where you are living, we would see your light in your own cave, shall we say, in silence, in prayer, in meditation. We would be so happy, and we would see the effect it's having upon your community. You can't feel it. Mm-hmm. People may not come knocking at your door saying, thank you so much for your light. That's not what you want anyway, but it's happening. Why would you want to be more than that? What can there be more than that? It's more than enough for us. It's more than enough for truth. We are dancing with delight around you. We're in celebration of you, of all our friends who do that. Come and join our party sometimes when you're feeling a bit low, and experience the celebration that we have for you and all that you do for good. There's a party happening already. Feel it. What you feel coming into your presence, dear ones, is celebration and love and gratitude from your loved ones in the world of spirit for all that you mean to them, to me. There is no separation between you and us. And we're always in a party mood. We're always celebrating because we only see beauty, we only see the truth of you. We're only celebrating the wonder and beauty of you. You've heard me often talk about peace, but peace is also the foundation stone of joy and love. We haven't talked about joy yet. So let this now be your experience. Of course you want to be at peace, but let joy come out of the peace. Maybe joy is not something you are so familiar with. Now's a chance to extend the experience of peace into joy and celebration and gratitude. So, dear ones, sadly the time has come when it seems I must leave you, for the moment. Never to go that far away, of course, because my presence is always with you. But for now, I leave you with all love and blessings and the promise of my unceasing prayers for you and the vision which I hold for you. The vision of you is truly free, and living then a life of everlasting peace, so that out of the peace may come an endless joy and a perfect and eternal love. And with all love to you, I say God be with you.